what does that do?
It spikes the audio, so I know where to cut it.
Oh, that's so
But I'm going to have to do it again once we're done talking.
And action.
There you go.
Hello, and welcome to whatever's
on the... over because I talked over you.
God!
Because I said, there you go. Okay. You don't have to do the clapping thing. I know where this is.
Blooper reel.
This is blooper number 9, by the way.
Blooper 27.
Cut!
Okay. Clap the whole night.
That's a sad clap. It's like...
All right, serious face, okay? Serious face never works.
Go.
I'm sorry. Hello and welcome to Whatever's on the Mind.
Where we tell you what's on ours. Welcome to episode 6, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say episode 6. Yeah.
Words are hard when you're doing a podcast.
They're pretty hard. Hard to be consistent.
As always, I am Travis.
I'm Jesse.
And we are two guys in a really hot bedroom.
We are. That was a great intro.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing anymore, man.
We're pretty tired. How long did you work today?
I probably put in not that much, like 5 hours worth of work.
Okay.
So
yeah. And I went to the gym and I worked a little bit. So I'm just like tired, like physically.
And I'm just tired all the time because existence is pain.
and you have 3 jobs, so
that's a thing.
Yeah, just a little juggling.
Yeah. So today, there was some exciting news that my friend over here kind of talked about earlier today, which made me think of an idea that we had a little while ago. But Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning is
remastered.
Yeah, it's coming out.
It's coming out September 8th now. I
Yeah.
thought it was August 18th, but I guess it got pushed back a little bit.
It's a little of a bummer.
Yeah, well, I mean, the info got leaked on it, and then the devs were like, yeah, it's coming out this year. And then they're like, look for August 18th. I think August 18th was what Amazon had it listed as.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's not like... I'm not sure if the devs were like August 18th, but they were like, yeah, look forward to it in like a few months, pretty much. Yeah.
But that whole Kingdoms of Amalur release really made us think about gaming nostalgia.
We did.
And kind of like when we were kids, what did we like to play? Like,
dude.
What games and what were our favorite games? And so we're going to dive into Kingdoms of Amalur first, just because I think we both agree in saying that's one of like influential game in our childhood.
It's such a great RPG that I feel like missed a lot of people's radars.
It's very kind of like on the down low.
It was. I mean, it sold like 1 million copies, but still, it wasn't talked about or advertised too much.
What's Skyrim?
Right. Yeah. I don't think anything's really been.
Can anything ever be a Skyrim? Well,
just the Skyrim version 2, like
True.
It's kind of like World of Warcraft. It's like literally the WoW killer was WoW Classic. So
yeah.
And then now they have 2 platforms of WoW.
But yeah, like you were saying, Kingdoms of Amalur, I feel like that's one of those games that like you pitch out there and 90% of people are like, what are you talking about?
What do you mean?
Like they're not knowledgeable of the game
like you talk about it and you're like, I've never heard that game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like if you watch some like weird, indie Netflix film or something.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, this is actually like a really, really good movie. And then everyone else is like, what are you talking about?
But it's like not advertised.
Exactly.
Or people don't really know about it. Yeah.
What were some of your like favorite aspects of that game?
I think the combat was really smooth and pretty memorable because you could do quite a lot with really any play style. I like to play with like big 2-handed sword and like kind of like strength focused like magic. But you could, even if you had like a big sword, you could still like summon dudes. You could still like make that like earthquake thing happen.
Right.
Whatever, lightning bolt.
All those little abilities you had and stuff.
Yeah, and you could be, I had the pretty standard like trio of classes, like warrior, archer, like mage. But you could also be like you'll be a rogue instead of an archer. You could be like a chakram dude. Throwing the chakrams around.
My thing.
Yeah, I know you guys like that a lot.
Yeah.
So you got you and Buddha.
Yeah, I think that was one thing that I thought was really cool about that was like the introduction of kind of like a new weapon that I'd never seen before.
Yeah.
So like chakrams were like I never knew what they were, and I had no idea what they were, and never would have known what they were without Kingdoms of Amalur.
Right.
And I just thought it's such like a cool idea, like the circular boomerang in a way, where you could just throw it at your enemies and stuff like that. But I was more of like the reserved, kind of laid back, like distance fighting.
Yeah, ranged, yeah.
I feel like I was like that with a lot of games.
Also, I want to make a note that I hear this. That's my water bottle, because I need to drink during this podcast.
It makes a weird sound.
It does, and I hate it because every time I go shopping for a freaking water bottle, it's either it smells a lot when you wash it and it still smells, or it makes some stupid noise that everyone's gonna hear you drink, like inside a classroom, in the gym, whatever. And it's like I want to drink in peace, man.
Here's a plug. Get a Camelback. That's what I have.
Is it silent?
It is. Ready? Listen.
Drink from it right now.
Right now.
Okay. Amazing.
Refreshing.
10 out of 10.
You can't hear a thing.
Yeah,
Maybe you heard a little bloop.
I couldn't hear anything.
I think there was a little bloop.
Was there a bloop? Maybe you're just self-conscious.
Maybe I am
about your
about my water bottle.
I know I am. Because it makes a little noise.
So get a Camelback. But back to Kingdoms of Amalur. Really excited to see him remaster it.
Yeah.
Kind of clean up the combat. Because I think probably 5 months ago, 5 or 6 months ago, I actually went back and I bought it on the Xbox store. And I got like the Xbox 360 version, and I played it.
It was like $5 on the store.
Yeah, exactly. And it was just so difficult to play.
Janky, right?
Yeah, just because like I remember when we were first playing it back in the day, like the combat was super smooth, and it was. But I mean, it's nowhere near what we have today and our expectations today of video games and stuff.
Right.
So
it's incredibly smooth, like no jank.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they're cleaning that. I think when they say redefining gameplay, they mean like they're cleaning up that jank.
Right.
So like smoother movements and stuff, which is really all the jank was just movement based, I think. And
no, exactly.
I think the camera was fine. Combat was super smooth. Combat was like the best part of the game.
Right,
sometimes.
Honestly, yeah.
You go like God of War mode with like the Fate thing. Remember that? Yeah, like you fill up your Fate bar and you pretty much just go like God of War mode and go ham.
Did everything turn black and purple or something?
Yeah. I don't think it turned black. It got like darker.
Right,
it was like darker and purple.
I remember a shift in color.
Yeah, no,
which I thought was
definitely
super cool.
is.
But the whole, I think the coolest part about Kingdoms of Amalur was like there was so much to do, and at that time I wasn't introduced to like an open world kind of like RPG game, I guess.
Really, yeah.
If that makes sense, like I think I played Kingdoms of Amalur before I played Skyrim or anything like that.
Right. Yeah. Same.
My gaming history is really awkward because like growing up I wasn't able to get brand new games and stuff, so they're always like hand me downs or borrowed games, or like my best friend Buddha got a game and I go over and play while he sat there watching me play, and being like, dude, let's try to do something else, like go swimming in the pool so we can do something together. I'm like, get away, Buddha. No. I'm playing Skyrim.
His mom said it's my turn on the Xbox.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, like Kingdoms of Amalur was really kind of like the first game of that style that I ever really played.
Yeah.
Which I think is why it kind of stuck to me so much. I mean, I'll be honest. Like, I remember very little about the storyline and stuff like that. But I just remember like the mechanics of the game, and I remember like really liking the flow of the game. If that makes sense.
Super smooth combat.
Yeah.
Story was okay. People didn't really like if you look at the reviews, they're not like, oh my god, the story was like insane. It was so good. Right. It was like, no, the combat was really good, smooth. It was really satisfying too. And you had like the shield, but you didn't like hold the shield out. It was only when you block.
Oh, exactly.
So you could like parry, and it slows down time a little bit when you parried.
Right.
Pretty standard stuff now, but it was pretty nice back then too.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a treat.
So what other kind of games, diving into the past of Jesse? What other games kind of stick out to you? We'll take it one by one.
Yeah. So I grew up kind of more on the Nintendo side for a little bit, like old Game Boy Color into Game Boy DS, but also GameCube, which I still have in my closet. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's that backpack you see right there.
Oh,
It's the little
right
black backpack.
Next to me.
Yep, the one in the corner. There's two corners. It's not the one with the headphone thing. Looky.
Oh, yeah. So not the one right next to me. I was misguided.
Yeah, well, there's like two corners right there. It's
Great
anyway,
floral design.
on the GameCube, I don't know if it was my first game, but it was probably like my most favorited game was Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness.
Ooh,
yeah, and that sounds awesome. And I just really liked it because like you don't start out with like the standard like fire, water, grass types. You start out with like just a normal Eevee, and then you can choose what Evolution you want.
That's kind of cool.
Throughout like a little bit after the tutorial, pretty much.
Was that on GameCube, you said? Or?
Yeah, GameCube.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I never played that
I don't know if it ever got remastered or not for something else.
So what was the whole like premise of the game like?
Something with, I want to say, don't quote me on this, but it was like Team Rocket was like corrupting Pokemon.
I was surprised.
Quite literally, it was turning them into like shadow Pokemon.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
And you had to like purify them and stuff.
What?
And I know what like they captured like Lugia, which is like You remember Lugia?
Yeah, I remember
Like
Lugia.
a big old dude.
From the movie, oh yeah.
Yeah. So they had a corrupted Lugia, and like I think, spoilers, the last battle you have to like beat the dude and capture Lugia for yourself and purify it.
That's so cool.
And also, I don't think it wasn't just Lugia either. It was like all three of the legendary birds.
So like Zapdos, Moltres, and Articuno.
Articuno, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you had to purify them and capture them. You didn't have to purify them, I don't think.
But it was just kind of like.
But they're like stronger if you do.
Oh,
you know what I
okay,
mean?
I see.
Yeah. So that was really cool. That's and all the battles, assuming you had like 2 Pokemon, were double battles, which I loved. Yeah.
No
So it's like
kidding.
arena mode, but it's just all your battles are double battles.
Double battles were always
And double
my
battles
favorite.
are super fun.
Especially when you have an attack with a Pokemon that like affects both Pokemon.
Yeah,
and you just
the
feel
double
so
attacks.
good about
and
yourself.
if you have 2 Pokemon with double
dude,
attacks,
they're
it's
gone.
over. It's
you have
game over.
Blizzard and Surf, and it's like,
Yeah.
get wrecked, son.
Yeah. They also have like a little like arena thing that you could like you kind of like scale like not scale up, but like you go up and battle in the arena, and you go to the like next platform.
Oh, that's so cool.
I don't know what the ending number is, but it's probably like 100 or something.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? But
Yeah, I think most
it's pretty
Pokemon
much just like
games
get
are.
that battling satisfaction.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll drive off that and say I was a huge Pokemon fan back in the day. Actually,
Yeah.
that's how me and Buddha became friends with Pokemon.
Really?
We
That sounds about right.
we used to go to the same bus stop, and we never really talked to each other or anything.
You go to Squirtle, man?
No, literally, like I had Pokemon cards, and he had Pokemon cards, and we were both like, "Yo, you have Pokemon cards."
I had
like,
Pokemon cards too when growing up.
Yeah,
Still
when
have-
it was
probably
like the
still
big
have them in
thing.
my closet.
I still have them somewhere lying around.
Yep.
But yeah, we would like trade Pokemon and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that, and then that's when we started like hanging out. And yeah, that's how our friendship kind of started. It was
That's
off
awesome.
of Pokemon, and then from there, like we played games together and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite Pokemon games of all time was Pokemon Fire Red.
Fire Red is good.
Just because I could play that game. I mean, I still play it every once in a while now. Like,
Yeah.
if I feel like getting out my, DS or something
Right.
like that. But we used to play that together. We used to trade Pokemon and
Mhm.
stuff like that. And, I just remember that was, like, my favorite game just because I knew the entire layout.
Right.
Like, still today, if I go back and play it, I know exactly what linear path to take.
Right, yeah. It's
and
like muscle memory.
It's not really linear, I should say. It's kind of like you have to
Like a
find your own
shortcut?
way.
Or like,
Well,
yeah,
you
I
just-
see what you mean.
It's not like
In
this
the
is
cave?
point A, point B. Yeah, exactly.
In the
So,
cave,
like,
yeah, you know
the
where to
caves
go.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know the layout pretty well
Mhm.
still. I mean, maybe I'll get lost in some of the caves
Right.
and stuff. But all the Pokemon were very memorable. All the boss fights and stuff like that, like
Yeah.
Giovanni and the
Oh, Giovanni,
yeah.
dude.
yeah, like stuff like that. But yeah, Pokemon was definitely one of those games that I felt like I could play forever. So I think I logged like hundreds of hours in Pokemon.
Really?
And even today, like
That's a
I say, I
ton.
go back and I could play Pokemon for like 30 hours.
Yeah.
And be like, yeah, this is fun.
Yeah, I remember playing. I played Fire Red and I think Emerald Green is what the other one.
Oh yeah.
Played those two. My favorite, like on the DS, was like Sapphire.
Yeah.
That was my all-time favorite, and I think it's because I could choose Mudkip.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you could choose Mudkip
I
on
think you
like
can.
on Ruby and Sapphire. You probably could. Right?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
Yeah.
Same generation. But yeah, I just like Sapphire because it's like it's blue, and I like blue, and the legendary is like a big whale, and he's blue, and yeah.
Wait,
I
what?
just like
Kyogre.
it.
That was his
Kyogre.
name.
What's the ground? Is it
Groudon.
No.
Groudon. Yeah.
Is it Groudon?
It's Groudon.
I don't know.
I think.
Is it Groudon?
That's the legendary.
I thought it was
for
still like an
Ruby.
ogre.
No, it's
Groudon?
Kyogre, it's Groudon,
Oh, it is
and
Groudon.
it's Rayquaza.
Rayquaza.
Rayquaza? Yeah, Rayquaza.
Rayquaza.
That was the Emerald version.
Right. That yeah.
Yeah. What versions of Pokemon did you have growing up, and which ones have you played?
Growing up was the Fire Red Emerald, not Fire Red Emerald, Fire Red Leaf Green, and then I think I said Emerald before, but Sapphire and Ruby. I don't know if I had Emerald. I don't think I did.
Okay.
I might have. I don't really remember at this point.
Yeah.
And then I didn't play Pokemon game on like the handhelds
Oh, no kidding.
until like I think until Sun and Moon.
Oh, you played Sun and
So
Moon?
yeah, I have Sun and Moon. I have
Oh, that's cool.
I have Sun and Ultra Sun.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, so I played Fire Red, Leaf Green to death.
Yeah,
And then I
those are
played Ruby and Sapphire. And I also really like
I love
Ruby and
Sapphire so
Sapphire.
much.
Sapphire is super cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I played Diamond and Pearl.
Mm.
And then I think I played a very little bit of the generation after that. And when I say very little bit, I mean I can't even think of the name of it.
Right.
And then from there, I just kind of stopped.
Wasn't black and white, was it?
Maybe it was, but I don't remember.
I don't remember all
but
of them.
after Diamond and Pearl, like I really didn't play many because I just felt like they were coming out with too many weird Pokemon, I guess.
Sure.
So I had like the Pokemon I was accustomed to and like I really liked, and even like with Diamond and Pearl when they introduced new Pokemon there, from my past, what I was used to, I was like, okay, I can still get behind these Pokemon. Yeah. They're not like super out of the whack or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then they started having like weird Pokemon that were like snow cones or something like that.
The boomer mentality of like, I want the Gen 1s.
Well, and the funny thing is, I've been thinking about getting some of the newer Pokemon games just to play them and just to try them.
What was the most recent ones that came out? Oh, it wasn't X and Y. The most recent one was on the Switch. Oh, Sword and Shield.
Sword and Shield, you're right.
Was on the Switch.
Yeah, and I was thinking about getting Sword.
I wonder, was X and Y the last one on the not the DS? Is it the DS? The handheld one.
You had the DS and then you had the 3DS.
3DS. It's 3DS. Yeah.
I'm gonna look up Pokemon games in order. Did you ever play
in like chronological order?
Yeah,
that's gonna be a lot.
Did you ever play like the OG, like I think it was like Yellow?
No, I like saw gameplay of it, but I never played it myself.
I remember I actually did play that for a little bit, but that was like
didn't it not have color?
Yeah, no, it was black and white.
Wow.
I think it was my cousin that owned it, and I was able to play it like vicariously through him, pretty much. But I remember like playing a little bit. So yeah, there's Sword, there's Shield. There's Alpha Sapphire.
Yeah, hard to say.
There's Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Right, and then
Diamond and Pearl. I don't know if this is in chronological order. I don't think it is. Well, hey.
That's like...
Okay, so Black and White, Red and Blue.
No, Black and White wasn't the first one.
No, it wasn't. No. What the heck?
First one was like...
Google, what are you doing to me? Yellow. Yeah, you're right.
What'd you search? How'd you search
I looked up Pokemon games in order.
You should have looked up in like chronological.
Okay.
You gotta be specific with that kind of stuff.
Chronological order. Okay, and survey says...
you're gonna have to go into Wikipedia because Google hates you.
Wikipedia is great, and please
it is great.
Don't hesitate to donate to them.
Yeah.
So let's see here.
Yeah, we're still looking into it.
We're still looking. We might have to cut this out because
it's organic.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, Generations. Gen 1.
Gen 1, so there was red and green, blue, red and blue, yellow. Okay, so there's blue, red, and yellow.
Okay.
Yellow was...
But I thought yellow came before...
No, I think it's red. I think it was like red, blue,
then yellow?
Yellow.
Oh.
Actually, you know what? Okay, so...
I mean, they could have been released as a pack.
There's Pokemon Red and Blue, and before that it was Pocket Monsters, I guess it was called.
Pocket Monsters,
in
Red and Green.
That's
before they rebranded to Pokemon.
Yeah, probably, yeah. I mean,
and then, Pocket Monsters Blue, and then Pokemon Red and Blue.
So Red and Blue, Yellow.
And then Yellow. Wait, hold on. What year is Yellow to...
1999, and Red and Blue was 1998.
Oh, wow.
So it was a little after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Generation 2, you had Gold and Silver, which I remember, Crystal, which I didn't even know about Crystal, but it exists.
Crystal, Gen 3.
Then there's Fire Red, Leaf Green, there's Ruby, Sapphire,
Ruby and
Emerald.
Sapphire before Red and
Fire Red and Leaf Green. Okay, yeah. And then there was Diamond and Pearl, Platinum, yep.
Yeah, I
remember. There was Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Black and White, X and Y, Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire.
Did they skip Diamond and Pearl?
No, Diamond and Pearl was Gen 4.
Oh.
And then after you had like Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, you had Sun and Moon.
Ultra Sun and Moon.
Yeah, and then Let's Go Pikachu, but I don't know.
And Let's Go Easy.
And then Sword and Shield. Yep. So that's kind
of a lot of games, man.
Yeah, honestly.
I mean, they release them like every year, every other year.
That's crazy to think about.
They have a pretty short development cycle.
So thinking about... Yeah, Diamond and Pearl and Platinum, those were the last ones I really played. Mm-hmm. So the last Pokemon game that I had personally played was from 2009.
Yeah. And
2009.
When was Sun and Moon? Because those was the last, modernized, I guess.
The ones that you've played?
Yeah.
Sun and Moon, 2016. So that's pretty recent.
Pretty recent.
Yeah.
It's 2020 right now.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That the last freaking Pokemon game I played was from before 2010s.
Before 2010s, yeah.
And it's 2020. I need to get up to date.
Yeah.
When you said "Okay, Boomer," you weren't lying.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, I was like, it's very, like, I don't want change. I want what I already know.
No, I get
I want
that.
more of what I already know. And it's like, well, you look at Gen 1, and it's not, and they weren't, like, super creative with some
Nowhere
things.
close to...
Like Geodude. It's a rock with arms.
Okay, but
it's a floating rock with arms.
Evolves... Okay,
and trash bag evolves into like trash can. I don't know. Like
don't do that.
Like it's fine.
Don't flip it on the head on me.
Nah,
that's
dude,
how the saying goes.
It's fine.
Anyways, I get what you're saying. Okay.
I worked out for an hour and a half today. I'm exhausted.
You know we're already 20 minutes into this.
Yeah.
20-minute mark.
And I'm tired and I want to go to sleep in like an hour.
And you will, my friend.
I like that so before Trav came over today, I was like, do I have time for a nap? Like, probably not, right? And he's like, I don't know. Like, how long do you want to nap for? And I was just like, forever.
Yeah, that was
and I was like, please.
Concerning.
No.
I did the big, like, wow face on it. I was like, what?
Yeah. Very considerate Facebook, like, Messenger wow react. But no.
Yeah.
So, I was just very tired.
Okay, so we talked about Pokemon. I'm going to throw out a game that's really nostalgic for me, and that's Dark Souls 2. Specifically Dark Souls 2.
Interesting.
Because I actually started with Dark Souls 2. I never played...
I did not.
Really? Did you start with Dark Souls 1?
Started with DS1.
Really?
I guess I should say Dark Souls 1, because you could say, like, Demon Souls.
That's
it's
true.
Still DS, but Dark Souls 1 into 2, into 2, like, remastered into 3.
Dark Souls 2 apparently only came out a few years ago, 2014.
Yeah, that's more than a few years ago.
Well, I mean...
It's like 6 years ago.
Yeah, but still, Dark Souls 1, wasn't that like...
2008?
Oh, that's 2011, actually.
11.
Wow, these are actually a lot newer than I anticipated.
That's because Demon Souls came out before
Dark Souls
I
think
1.
Demon Souls was like 2008.
Something like that.
Right? Demon
give
Souls...
or take 4 years in between all of them.
Yeah. Demon Souls was released in 2009.
2009. Okay.
And wasn't there a game before that? No, Demon Souls was the OG. You're right.
Demon Souls was, the OG Souls.
I was thinking of like Bloodborne, but Bloodborne
was after 2.
Newer. Yeah, it was newer.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Dark Souls 2, I remember, I would actually play that a lot over
I did too. I played a lot of PvP in Dark Souls 2.
Oh, I didn't.
Like a ton,
I hated it.
Really.
Whenever I got invaded and I died, I literally turned off the Xbox and I went outside and cried for like an hour.
But once I like beat the game pretty much and got whatever gear I wanted, I would just go to the Fire Bridge place, whatever it's called. It's like the
what's the name?
Mean? It's like the palace place.
It's with all the knights.
Like the samurai dudes.
The samurai dudes, and you fight the big fire demon king.
Yeah.
And oh my god, and the smelter demon. Do you remember the smelter demon?
Dude, he was really dope.
Oh, he was the hardest boss, dude.
You're just bad at the game then, bro.
No, I'm serious.
He's not hard.
I'm dead serious. I would beat like 90% of boss first tries, and I remember the first time I fought the smelter demon, I died like 10 times.
Bro.
And it's just honestly,
because you're bad at the game.
No, it's because I wasn't good at the timing, because the timing was so different from other bosses, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously with the old Iron King, like he was the easiest boss in the game, pretty much. Well, not the easiest.
What was the old Iron King?
He was the one who came out of the lava, and he was super big. He's one of the four.
Just the lava dude that just
Lord Souls, I think. Was it
okay.
the old Iron King? I think that was.
It was like something like that. Yeah, he's like the big fire dude with like he just swings at you.
Yeah. No, he was the old Iron King.
Iron King.
He's a boss.
I thought he had fire in his name for some reason.
Well, I mean he
was like made out of fire, kind of.
But yeah, so I remember playing that game a lot with Buddha, and that was one of the games I played that Buddha would not touch, pretty much. Like, he played a little bit of it, and I think, but he only made it to, like, Hyde's Tower of Flame, and through the, what's the forest area? I'm forgetting the name. It's been a while since I played it.
Like, isn't it like the Hidden Forest or something?
Yeah, something like that. It's where the last giant is. It's that area.
Yeah, and you can't see in front of you. Is that what you're thinking of?
No, that's the Misty Forest.
Yeah, the Misty
I'm
Forest. You're
talking
talking about
about
like the tutorial forest.
pretty much the first area.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So he made it through Hyde's Tower of Flame after doing that area.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I don't think he really made it much further. And I'm so sorry, Buddha, if I'm not giving you enough credit. And if so, I'll correct myself the next podcast.
He'll tell you in the group chat.
Yeah, literally.
You outed me in episode 6. This is my Buddha voice, apparently.
That's exactly what Buddha sounds like.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that was one of the games that I played a ton while he watched, just because Buddha doesn't really like hard games.
It is a fun game to watch somebody play.
Yeah.
Because like I don't have to do the hard things.
Yeah, literally.
I get to watch somebody else mess up.
And then when you die 10 times to the Smelter Demon, you can laugh at them because you're not the one dying 10
they're bad
times
at the
to
game.
Smelter Demon. But yeah, that was one game. What was your favorite boss from Dark Souls 2?
Honestly, what is his name? It's one of the earlier bosses. Not the Punisher, is it? What is it? It's
the Sinner.
No.
Lost Sinner?
No. I hated that boss.
Oh, really?
It is weird and dark and just leaped on you.
No,
I
agree with that. That's why I was a little surprised.
No, it's like one of the first dudes in the forest. In like the forest.
Oh, the
fortress.
Pursuer.
Pursuer, not Punisher.
The guy that follows
the
you
Punisher.
every single area.
Pursuer, yeah. I think he was really, really cool and underrated.
And the Scholar of the Last Sin version, which was like the harder
the remastered
version,
one, pretty much.
Yeah, he follows you literally like in 5 different areas.
And you have like once you beat him, like as a boss, he follows you as like a mini boss,
which is
or
super
like an elite
cool.
mob. Yeah, I love that mechanic.
No, I liked him. And the thing I liked about him too was like I can now, but I couldn't parry for my life,
Parrying's always been kind of difficult.
Especially in Dark Souls 2, the timing is very weird. Where Dark Souls 3, it's a lot easier.
Right.
But Dark Souls 2, like, I really could not parry at all.
Dark Souls 1 was pretty easy to parry.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It was very, mechanic. It was very just like, it was like static almost. Like you knew exactly when to parry.
Right. I got to that point in Dark Souls 3, but like I said, Dark Souls 1, I played a little bit, but I only made it up to the, is it the Capra Demon? Is that their name?
That is, that's their name.
Yeah, but I only made it up to them, which is
and you're thinking of the big guy with the sword, right?
Yeah.
The double swords, okay.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure you're thinking of the right dude.
Yeah, the Capra Demon. No, and I only made it up to him, which was like maybe a fifth of the way through the game.
And he had his dogs, too.
Yeah, oh my god, they were so annoying. That was literally the boss fight that set me over the edge with Dark Souls 1, and I was like, yep, can't do it anymore.
Yeah, you would hate the rest of the bosses then, because they only get harder.
Well, it's not the difficulty that I didn't like, it was the setup of the boss fight.
Yeah, it's like, it's really claustrophobic and like...
Claustrophobic, ganky. I don't like those kinds of bosses.
No, I don't like it when Dark Souls just throws more enemies at you instead of doing like more mechanics that they do.
Right, and that's
entirely Dark Souls 2, is they just throw all the enemies at you instead of
just a bunch of gank instead of making a good mechanic boss.
Like the gargoyle fight.
Oh my god, the worst.
Good luck, bud.
No, Dark Souls 2 actually had some really bad boss fights.
Yeah, well, it was like the B team, quote unquote, made that game.
You can tell.
And yeah. That being said, when I played it, I loved it. And
I
still love it. It just doesn't get like the same like
appreciation,
and it didn't get the same treatment as Dark Souls 1 or 3.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Like compared 2 to 3, and you're like, why do they like go? It's like I was gonna say backwards, but they didn't really. It wasn't 3 then 2 or anything. But it's like you look at Dark Souls 1 to 2, and look at like the detail and kind of like the environments and the boss rooms and like the mechanics. The diversity of the bosses, a lot of Dark Souls 2 is just humanoids.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite bosses from Dark Souls 2 was I think it was the Flexile Sentry fight.
Yeah. I don't think it's not Flexile, is it?
I think it's Flexile Sentry. I think their name. But it was the one where it was in the wharf area, and you had to call in the boat. And you had to
like the dude in the water, like underneath the boat.
Yeah. So the thing,
and he had like a double like head kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
He was like split in 2, but like he had one of him was facing the front, the other was facing the back. So he had 4 swords.
And the thing I want to say about that, I accidentally hit the table. The thing I want to say about that is the boss fight itself wasn't great.
No, it's pretty simple.
But I appreciated how they tried to mix something up.
Yeah, it was really cool how they did it, because like you're in like this deep water under like in the lower part of the boat, it was a boat. It was in the boat. It was in the it was in like a big pirate ship, And you're like knee deep in water, so you're slowed. Your
Yeah.
rolls are slowed. Dude, like, so if you couldn't just go around the guy, because he could still just hit you.
Yeah.
From his back, so you had to like actually like back up or like roll away
Yeah.
or whatever.
And they had 2 different move sets too.
Yeah, and you couldn't, because a lot of Dark Souls 2 and kind of just Dark Souls in general is you can just kind of go in a circle and generally the bosses won't hit you.
Right.
Which Dark Souls you can do that with pretty much all the bosses.
Honestly.
But yeah.
What was your least favorite boss from Dark Souls 2?
Gargoyles. Like
Gargoyles,
I think it's probably got to be. It's just because it's so annoying.
Yeah, that's
They just
fair.
throw everything at you, and it's like, this isn't harder because it's like, ooh, it's so like I have to think about everything or whatever. I have to like make a strategy. It's like, hey, we're just gonna. It's like getting beat up by a mob. And it's like, hey, we're just gonna throw everything at you, and good luck.
Yeah. No,
And
I think.
I just want to add, God help you if you're doing a blind playthrough and you don't know that.
Oh my god.
That's gonna happen because
it
that's
hits you
the
out of
worst.
nowhere.
Yeah.
It literally hits you out of nowhere.
Yeah, it does.
Thinking about my least favorite boss, that's kind of a tough one. I think I'm gonna say the Demon of Song, which is like the big frog. Actually,
big
no,
frog
no. Taking that back.
Okay.
Taking that back. Guardian Dragon, the Guardian Dragon in the big cage. Because
Guardian Dragon?
yeah,
Big cage.
I think it was called Guardian Dragon. But literally, you go through Aldia's.
Memory might be fuzzy.
It's Aldia's keep, and you go through this really.
Oh, the big ass dragon.
No.
No, never mind.
So the big ass dragon.
Oh, I know which one. It's you're in the circular cage.
Yeah.
And it goes on like the ceiling and okay.
Yeah, the Guardian Dragon.
I thought you meant Aldia or Aldia wasn't. Aldia was the sinner.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I forget the Ancient Dragon. I think it was just called Ancient Dragon.
Okay. I thought that was Aldia.
No.
I'm pretty sure there was some lore.
Aldia was the
Scholar?
Scholar of the First Sin.
But then right.
So he was like the weird looking kind of.
Maybe Aldia made the ancient dragon or something.
Yeah,
or like
I think.
talked to it.
But that's Aldia.
I
like
know Aldia
ball
was
of fire.
Yeah, fire and like I don't even know.
And then Ancient Dragon
was like the biggest dragon that was an optional boss.
Yeah, that you literally couldn't beat.
No, it was so hard to beat that
But
boss.
the thing I hated most about Guardian Dragon was literally the entire fight was he started on the ground, he would do 2 swings at you and you would hit him once or twice, and then he'd fly up on his cage and you have to wait 20 minutes for him.
No, not 20 minutes.
Okay, exaggerating.
You had to wait a pretty long time.
For him to come back down. I literally once had a playthrough where I was fighting him, and he's not an optional boss. Keep that in mind.
You have to fight him to progress.
But I was fighting him, and he literally, I think he spent a total of like 5 to 10 minutes on the walls.
Oh my gosh.
Like the AI was just terrible for that fight.
Yeah.
Ugh. And the other thing about Dark Souls 2 that I didn't really like was some of the areas were lacklustered. So when you're looking at Aldia's Keep, it's this big castle that you walk through.
But there's like so many just big, empty, almost non-textured rooms.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying with the B team things, and not things, but like the B team thing, and the team that worked on it. It just didn't get the same treatment as DS1 or 3.
Didn't get the same love.
Yeah, like they're probably on a crunch and they couldn't put a lot of detail in the environments. Especially mostly interior environments because outside I felt like was fine, but if you went into like this big fortress, it's just big square rooms with not a lot of detail in anything.
Right.
Whereas Dark Souls 3 is like it feels very intricate,
very
and, like,
beautiful,
very detailed in all the little stuff, and especially Bloodborne too.
My least favorite area, talking about like the setup of it and everything.
Dark Souls 2?
In Dark Souls 2.
Yes.
Was the Shrine of Amana, and that's why I said the Demon of Song.
Right.
Just because like you go through this really terrible setup of like random bosses all around and like random drops in water and like you're already slowed and like you have projectiles shooting at you.
You got the mages shooting
just so much gank, and you go through all of this bull crap, and then you literally get to one of the most lackluster bosses ever.
You can hear my mom in the background.
Daisy. Get over here, Daisy. Yeah, so that was my least favorite area. I don't know if you agree with that for your least favorite area, or if you'd pick somewhere else.
I think so. If not that one, definitely like you remember like the poison place.
Oh my god.
Yeah. See exactly. It's like kind of Dark Souls 2's version of Blighttown.
The Black Gulch. That's what it was called. The Black Gulch.
Yeah.
And that place was terrible because then like you got poisoned everywhere. There was it was like Gank from Poison, because there's all these little poison statues.
Everywhere.
There's all these poison statues that would shoot poison at you, and poison pools and enemies
enemies were poisoned weapons.
It was
or
just
whatever.
ridiculous,
man.
man.
A lot.
You are talking about that poison area, right? Because there's also there's this like valley in there too that's all poison mist and stuff like that, where you fight Mithra.
And that's the Medusa lady.
Yeah, the Medusa lady.
I mean, doesn't that go into that?
No, they're two different.
I
think they're two different areas.
What's Black Gulch? Is Black Gulch? No, because you're thinking it's still poison.
Yeah, no, the Black Gulch is the dark poison.
I'm gonna look up Black Gulch.
Yeah, you'll see what I mean. It's the area with all these little statues around, and it's like really dark down there.
Oh, I see what you mean.
It's where you fight the Rodden, that boss, right?
Oh, okay. No, I wasn't thinking of this one.
Were you thinking about the Valley?
I was.
Okay, so the Valley.
I mean, they're both really annoying.
Yeah.
And but yeah, that's a lot of poison.
Poison in general is really annoying.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Yeah.
But yeah, those are equally.
Yeah.
Pretty. What was the other place? The Valley.
Yeah, I forget the name of it.
It's a valley-esque place.
Yeah, I don't remember the name, but I do remember.
Fight Medusa lady. There's it's kind of like a windmill.
Yeah, and you have to burn the windmill in order to fight the lady, and there's no indication to do that.
No.
It's like you just had to know, and it's
Dark Souls 2, I pretty much watched somebody play it until I got to play it, so I kind of knew
that's what I did.
Everything.
Yeah.
Dark Souls 1, I played as blindly as I could without looking at spoilers and boss fights and stuff.
That was for me for Dark Souls 3.
Did I say Dark Souls 1? Sorry, I meant to say Dark Souls 3.
Oh yeah, so we both did it the same way.
Blind. Dark Souls 1 now, I pretty much knew all the boss fights already, just because it was an old game and I watched people play it.
Yeah.
That being said, I didn't watch a couple fights of kind of lower importance. I didn't watch the last fight with Gwyn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
no, that makes sense. Leave that for yourself. So.
Some of the big fights, really.
Right. But what do you think the hardest boss in Dark Souls 2 was, and what do you think the easiest boss was? I can start out first if you want me to.
Yeah, please do, because my memory is a bit fuzzy.
For me, I think the hardest boss is, no surprise, the Smelter Demon, just because of the move pattern, and the other thing about him too was he would continuously buff himself. So
with the fire, yeah.
Right. So I wasn't the most overly aggressive player, and that came to a detriment at me during that fight because it's all time based. Yeah. So if you let him buff, that was the end for you.
Well, you get him to half health or something, and then he starts buffing.
And it's based on time too, though. Is it? Because he would buff before I even got him to half health sometimes. Oh, okay. Because it's all based on how. I guess it was time. Yeah, it's how fast you can kill him, pretty much, and I'm not good at that. So Smelter.
That was your most hated boss. What was your favorite?
No, that wasn't my hated. Most difficult boss.
Difficult, sorry.
Easiest boss and probably one of the lamest boss was what was it? Prowling Magnus in Congregation. I think that's what it was called.
Oh yeah.
And it literally didn't feel like a boss.
It wasn't Prowling. It was the Congregation and something. But it was like you're in a church kind of. Now I'm looking up a list. I have a list of all 32 bosses.
Smart. We probably should have done this at the beginning. It was Prowling Magus and Congregation.
Prowling Magus. I don't remember Prowling.
Well, that's the thing. You wouldn't remember it because it literally just felt like a room full of normal enemies. It was like 7 or 8 different enemies in there that you would fight individually, and the health bar was so low as it was. Mm-hmm. It was literally just it was a non-optional boss because you had to get to the Duke's Dear Freya, I think the name was. Yeah. But you had to fight this boss, and it was it took me 20 seconds every time I did it. Yeah. And it was the most lackluster and easiest boss I've had. Mm-hmm. I have never died to that boss. I never will.
No.
That being said, there are a lot of easy bosses in there. But the Last Giant is pretty easy. But admittedly, the first time I played Dark Souls, I did die to it.
Oh, also, the Medusa lady, it's not Mithra, it's just Mytha.
Mytha. Okay, my bad.
Just correction later.
I like to add my R's because I'm a pirate.
The rotten. So that was the hardest boss for you, the Smelter Demon.
Smelter Demon hardest. Prowling Magus and easiest? Congregation for easiest. Yep.
Well, yeah, I think everybody's easiest was probably the Prowling Magus.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I was also going to say, Deacons of the Deep in Dark Souls 3. You know it.
Kind of like one of those bosses.
Same idea.
Yeah.
Just more dudes thrown at you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I feel like
what are we doing? We're doing most hated and favorite. Or no.
Hardest. Hardest and
Hardest,
easiest.
easiest. Okay. Jeez, Okay, I'm still going through this list. Smolder Demon is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, they were a cool boss, and that's why I
Hardest,
don't hate them.
easiest.
Because I thought it was a really good addition to the game. Like, that's one of the few bosses that are memorable and that I actually really enjoy.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm just going through it. There's 32 bosses. I'm going through all
There's
of
too
these.
many.
'Cause I don't remember all of these off the top of my head.
Dragon Slayer was pretty
and then
easy.
I don't remember. Yeah, Dragon Slayer was.
What was the big fat dude? Like the Jabba the Hutt dude. Covetous Demon.
Covetous Demon?
Yeah, it was like the big Jabba the Hutt dude. He was super easy too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Are you not thinking of the Rotten?
No, I'm thinking of the Covetous Demon.
Okay.
It was up to Mytha. It was like that way you had to go.
Yeah.
And
Did you? Oh.
he was non-optional.
Yeah.
But he was
Isn't he just
super
the big dude
easy.
who go like bleh at
Exactly,
you,
he just flopped
roll over.
around the whole time.
Okay.
Like, what kind of
What's
setup
the,
is that?
Oh, the Rotten is like the mass of like
dead bodies.
and yeah.
Which is kind of cool, but kind of gross.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's Dark Souls.
That's all of Dark Souls.
Um,
We're excluding DLC bosses
we're going
too,
to.
right?
Okay, do we want to exclude DLC? You might as well just.
I didn't play
just
all the
vanilla.
DLCs for that game.
Okay, I
admittedly.
think I did. I don't. Well, because we had. Did you have the Scholar of the First in edition?
I did, but I never
didn't
did
play it.
the
Oh,
DLCs.
okay. I did, but
Yeah. Which
don't
is
remember.
unfortunate.
Okay, we'll exclude DLCs, bosses. So for hardest, I mean, it's pretty. Probably the Throne Watcher and Defender.
That was your
'Cause
hardest?
No, see, I don't know because I didn't have a hard time. I didn't have a
No,
hard
that's
time
fair.
playing this game in
Well,
general.
and I can understand
okay,
that
no,
too.
you know what? Hardest boss was Ancient Dragon
Because
because I did try to do it and I couldn't do it. I literally couldn't.
That was me too. I couldn't beat him.
I tried to beat him. Optional boss, by the way, but still a boss in the game.
He's so tanky.
So tanky. Basically one shots you.
I could get a quarter of his health down, and then he would one shot me, and that
so
was the whole
that
time.
was definitely my hardest boss because.
And you'd probably agree with Prowler's Magus.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't really think of anything that's
They're all really easy.
even easier than just like.
Right.
It was essentially just mobs in a boss room with boss health.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about Dark Souls 3? Because I kind of want to transition to it with all this talk about Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 3 is probably, to this date, one of my top 3 favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
Just because...
by the way, there's the Covetous Demon. That's the
big Jabba the Hutt dude.
Big fishy dude. It looks like a big fish.
Kind of.
Like he's just
Wasn't there a movie called The
like
Big Fish?
Probably.
Buddy Holly. There's a Buddy Holly song.
There's everything's a movie. Blah blah.
Something about
Just
a roller
there's
coaster.
lyrics.
Heck yeah. So Dark Souls 3 is probably one of my top 3 favorites of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just because I felt like, I played Dark Souls 2 and I really, really liked Dark Souls 2 when it came out. And then when Dark Souls 3 came out, I saw what Dark Souls could be.
Oh, Dark Souls 2 could have been.
Yeah, exactly. Because I didn't play Dark Souls 1, so it's not like I was disappointed.
Yeah.
But I just remember the spike in difficulty from Dark Souls 2 to Dark Souls 3.
Oh, for sure.
And I love that. I love that aspect. And just the whole kind of aesthetic of it, the whole, all the boss fights that there were. I remember, at first, thinking about how, I had heard that there weren't as many boss fights in this one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's really cruddy. But at the same time...
in Dark Souls 3?
Yeah, exactly. I heard there weren't as many as Dark Souls 2.
Right.
And at the time, I was stupid and naive, and I'm like, well, that kind of sucks. I liked all the boss fights. And then I did the first boss fight, and I was like...
And then you're like, I don't want 32 of these.
No, 15 is perfect.
Is there only 15?
I think there's 18 or 19, excluding DLCs. I think
did you play the DLCs?
I did for Dark Souls 3.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you what,
through and through.
I loved them.
I did too.
Yeah,
They
there
were
are only
pretty cool.
2, right?
I think so. Yeah, because there's the frost one, the snowy place.
Yeah.
And then there was the kind of poisonous, blighty, kind of everything's purple.
Yeah. So there are 19 bosses in Dark Souls 3,
excluding. Probably excluding DLC.
Let me double check.
He's checking the list right now. But yeah, how the hell has 44 minutes gone by already? I don't even remember.
Oh yeah, so 19 excluding the DLC, and the DLC had
4,
I believe.
Ooh, nailed
Actually,
it.
no, it had more.
Oh,
Had 6.
6. Well,
Yeah.
that's just 2 away from 4.
So 25 in total, but the way they did it was the original game had 19, so it wasn't
Right.
Dark Souls 2 had like over 30.
There's 32,
32
and then
in the
plus
main
DLC
game.
bosses.
So I felt like they really did it right. So for you, let's talk like favorite and least favorite.
Okay.
And then I'll tell you my favorite and least favorite. And you can include DLCs because we both played the DLCs.
Okay.
In this game.
Okay. Cool. Favorite boss fight, probably in the Snow DLC when you fight the champion and her wolf. I really liked the aesthetic of it, and it was a little hard. I died a couple times, but you kind of get the hang of it.
That's really funny.
And also different things happen if you kill the wolf or if you kill the champion first.
I don't know. For me, that fight was kind of middle of the road.
I think it's because of the aesthetic. Because I really like the idea of like,
I did too.
There's this gladiator with like their longtime best friend. Wolf.
Right.
She might have had 2 wolves.
I
don't remember if she had 2 wolves or 1. But yeah, I just really like the gladiator aesthetic.
No, that's fair.
She had like battle wolves.
You're right, exactly.
I think
when
cool.
it first started, the champion had like multiple little wolves, and then like halfway through the fight, it was the big wolf that came in.
Right. Because you'd have to kill the 2 wolves or something, or something happened, and then there was like a big wolf.
Right. What was your least favorite?
It's been a while. My least favorite. That's a hard one because there's so many just kind of like hard bosses that you don't really want to like. For some reason, I mean, I don't remember every single boss from memory, but from memory, who was the Lord in Anne Orlando? That wasn't Aldia. That was
the Lord in Anne Orlando. Was it Pontiff Salt? No, it was Aldrich.
Aldrich, still an A name. Yeah, I hate Aldrich.
Really?
It's like such an annoying fight.
Just so difficulty-wise, that's what you hate about them.
But it's also just my least favorite because it just isn't an enjoyable fight for me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like they shoot all this stuff at you, and like the raining of the arrows, like you can't dodge that. It just follows you. And I'm like, dude.
No, I can definitely understand that.
I mean, cool fight, but like not my favorite. Like very like down, like annoying. Like because it was annoying.
Okay,
so I'm
like,
I don't want my fights to be annoying. I want them to be like creative and
I get that.
And like it kind of like a fluidity to them. Not that Aldrich wasn't creative, but it was just annoying.
I get that.
It was an annoying fight.
It's a bunch of spam from one enemy.
It's like gargoyles from Dark Souls 2,
but with one person.
But with one person with a lot of abilities. Yeah. And it's like...
Now let me ask, I should have asked it this way, and I should have posted it this way, but how would your answer have changed if it was like just base game and then DLC? So
like base game favorite?
Yeah, what was your favorite base game?
Okay. Well, least favorite would still be Aldrich.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because they're in the base game. Favorite? Not for the fight, but because I'm going to go aesthetic and kind of like lore.
I think I know what you're going to say.
Big Man's...
Abyss Watchers?
No.
No?
That is a really good one, though.
Okay, I thought you were going to say that.
That is a really good one.
That seems like a very
That's a great fight and aesthetic.
Okay.
Yorm? Storm?
No.
Man, he's a huge dude with a big sword.
But he's
got a great aesthetic.
It's a middle of the road fight for me.
The fight is boring. You only had to hit him a couple times with the storm sword or whatever.
And I get the lore behind it, and I think the lore is super cool. But I don't know. Like I feel like for me, when I pick my favorites and least favorites, I have to take into account the fight itself.
The actual fight. Yeah,
so like I really love Yorm aesthetically, and I think he looks super awesome.
To be fair. Did you ever try to fight him without using that sword? Though?
No, I didn't.
And I did my first time.
No kidding.
I did. I didn't beat him with that.
Oh, okay. No. I meant you. I thought you meant you beat him. I did try the first time fighting him with it, and it was impossible.
Pretty much. You do so little damage.
But yeah, no. So I mean, I can kind of get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Because I feel like
cracking my knuckles.
Yeah, you might feel like more like the aesthetic and lore is more important to a boss. I'm more about like the whole picture. And more I say more so the combat and less lore, and I feel like you just rank it differently in importance.
I do, because I rank it, like, the fight, if it's a good fight, it's a good fight, but, like, what makes it more memorable to me is the aesthetic and the lore. The lore importance and the history of it.
What was your least favorite from the DLC?
You're gonna have to pull that up because I don't remember.
So there was Sister Freed, the Champions, Grave Tender, and Werewolf. There was Demon and Pain and Demon from Below, Half Light, Spear of the Church, Dark Eater Madir, and Slave Nightingale.
Okay.
And that's a hard choice, I feel like. But...
Least favorite, Sister Fried and her dad or whatever.
Oh, my heart.
What? It's such a weird and hard fight. I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
It's not bad, but it's not my of the DLCs. It's not my favorite.
No, that's fair.
Least contending with that for least favorite, probably Slave Knight Gale.
Okay, that's fair.
He's just annoying.
No,
Like
I get
all of
that.
my least favorite fights are like these just annoying.
He's
fights.
like a chimpanzee on like cocaine or something. Really.
It's just ugh.
Yeah.
Favorite. Can you go back to the list? I think probably Madeir though.
Well, no, I thought you said your favorite was Champions, Gravetender, and Wolf.
Oh, for the DLC.
Great Wolf, yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's a part
So,
of the DLC.
That was
Jesse.
part of the DLC, yeah.
That is indeed.
But that's fair.
Madeir, pretty baller though.
Yeah, okay,
Like
yeah.
pretty hard fight, but
Yeah.
really cool.
So I'll go into my favorites and least favorites. So base game, my favorite. I have least favorite on my mind right now, but my
Yeah.
favorite would probably be the Dancer of the Boreal Valley.
Really?
Well, and the reason was
yeah, give me the reason.
I really like the music.
good.
I really
music.
I really like the move set. Okay, so
Yeah,
I think
very fluid.
Yeah,
Very fluid,
I mean,
as a dancer would be.
no, and that's what I like about it is the name
it-
fits the description.
Right.
You know, when you're
Yeah.
fighting them, it feels you're fighting against this really elegant dancer.
Right. 'Cause if
That's
they're-
super
yeah.
hard. But I beat Dancer of the Boreal Valley on my first try,
Nice.
and I felt so good about myself.
Yeah.
Because then I remember playing my second playthrough and I died in them like 3 times.
Yeah.
But no,
Oh.
I loved that fight, and I just saw like the aesthetic was really cool, especially when like the halfway point comes and like the whole church lights on fire
True.
and everything burns up, and I don't know. I thought that was a really cool boss
It was
fight.
a very aesthetically pleasing.
And then
boss fight.
kind of contending for that one, I guess, would be
For a favorite.
would be the Twin Princes, actually.
Yeah, that was a cool.
Because I thought that was,
That
I
was a
mean,
cool one,
that
man.
was more difficult than the Dancer, not by too much. But I thought they really balanced it out really well. I mean,
Yeah.
every once in a while you got really wonky AI that was kind of unfair. But I felt like for the most part when I fought him,
Sometimes it was kind of just random.
Yeah,
Or they
exactly.
would like do the same thing again, but they're not really supposed to.
right. So I felt like for the most part though that fight was really cool.
What did I say my favorite was for base? I don't remember at this point.
Oh gosh, I guess no. You said Yorm. You said
Yorm. Yeah. Might try that out for the princes. That was a pretty cool
Yeah.
fight. But,
Yeah.
I just like Yorm's aesthetic. Big guy with sword.
And then
Makes me happy.
my least favorite, and I can't choose between the two because I hate them both. Okay, the Curse Rotted Greatwood,
Oh, big tree?
the big tree,
Yeah.
the big gross nasty tree,
Very
or
not aesthetically pleasing.
the Ancient Wyvern, which I think the Ancient Wyvern might just. That was the one where you literally
Ancient?
ran around the arena fighting those really annoying dragon dudes just to jump on their head and kill them in one shot.
I don't remember that. I'm gonna be honest.
what I'm
I
saying.
don't remember it.
It was a terrible boss fight. And it because it wasn't a boss fight. It was like running
It was
through
like
this
it was
really
like a
annoying.
mob fight.
Yeah, you literally ran around this really annoying like arena area and like this path to get up to these like this elevated area above the dragon, and then he jumped off the dragon and did a plummeting attack and killed it in one shot.
Oh, the big boy.
Yeah, so
Oh, I know what you mean by the dragon dudes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I remember
so
now.
that's base game for me.
Yeah, that was. They had like 2 fights like that at least, because it was Yorm, where it's like this really cool looking
Yeah.
dude and aesthetic, and you're able to go like deep underground and this and that, the
And
Lost
then
City.
you kill him in 5
and-
shots.
Yeah, and then it's like, okay.
Like, yeah.
It's disappointing, I guess.
No, and that's the point where I talk about like where that would be like more the middle of the road boss for me.
Yeah.
DLC wise, I would actually say my favorite one was Sister Fried,
Sister Free.
just
It's a
because
cool fight.
I felt like the difficulty in that was just so spiked up from what I was used to,
was.
even from Dark Souls 3 standards. Like
No, it
I
was a really hard
thought
fight.
after fighting some of the bosses I fought, which we'll talk about in just a second,
Mhm.
I thought that I hit like peak difficulty,
Mm.
and then Sister Fried comes along and kicks my
Right.
butt.
Yeah.
But it was in a way that was fair. I never felt like I died in a really cheap way. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I felt like if I died, it's because I screwed up. I messed up my butting inputs. Like I
Right.
just
That's
didn't
usually
do
what it
a
was.
good enough job.
I can agree for that fight.
Yeah. And then my least favorite, and I'm sorry to do this to you,
You're
pal.
gonna do Midir.
No, it's
Oh,
Champions
Champion.
Gravetender
Oh.
and Gravetender Great
Yeah.
Wolf because I just
Oh, it is Great Wolf.
Great Wolf, yeah.
Okay, there's
Um,
not 2.
I just felt like it was lacking. I don't
That's
know.
fair.
The boss
Again.
fight itself, I agree with you with the aesthetic
Yeah.
of the area and stuff.
It's
and
really
like,
cool.
It's cool.
And like the gladiator
but the
aspects.
combat aspect of it, like the part that matters most to me, that was just lackluster.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and
interesting that we have like a different dynamic on that.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing about games is you're supposed to interpret it as you want to.
Very subjective.
Yeah. So last thing I want to talk about with Dark Souls 3, base game. What was the hardest and least? Hardest and easiest bosses for you?
Oh, okay. Easiest is gonna be the same for both of us, and 100%.
Do it.
Deacons of the Deep.
Yes.
Easiest boss. Not even a boss.
By far.
It's just
hack and slash.
Hack and slash. Yeah, just have some fun. Hardest boss. I think I know what you're gonna say for hardest boss, but actually maybe not. Can I see the list again?
Yeah,
go for
it.
Let me hold up phone, homie.
Yeah. While you're looking that up, to comment on Deacons of the Deep, like I felt like it was kind of cool what they were trying to do, because it wasn't like your typical gank fight. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like just. It wasn't three really hard people coming at you
also,
at once.
I think I know what you're gonna say for the hardest. But
but at the same time, like they tried something new, but it didn't work, I guess.
I think it was intentional.
Really?
I think what they were doing was pretty intentional. Yeah.
That's fair. No, I thought it was pretty lackluster boss overall and everything.
I'm looking through the list.
Yeah.
Hardest boss, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We already went the easiest.
Yeah.
I don't know, because there's a lot of bosses that I feel like kind of compete with difficulty.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to choose it between like two, then go for it. You know.
Probably Solo Cinder, last boss. Because I mean, he just throws everything at you.
That's true.
And it's a really cool fight, and it's very cool. Like, it checks all the boxes
for
me.
Music, the combat, the lore. Like, that's what boss I think we can both agree is like super awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't say the favorite as that for.
No, that's fair.
Base anyway.
So Soul of Cinder, and
I was thinking, because it's like, what did I have a hard time with?
Yeah,
right?
that's the thing you got to think about is who did you have a hard time with?
It is Yorm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yorm the Giant.
I was thinking it started with the J, but it's still like Yorm.
Jorm the. I was gonna say giant, but they have the same sound. Dang it, Travis.
I don't want to do three of them.
Go for it.
Wolnir was pretty hard for me, man. If you're doing Wolnir solo, like, that's hard.
If you don't know how to approach him, then yeah, I'll agree with
that's
that.
Hard,
I died to him the first couple times I fought him.
That's tough, dude. Probably Nameless King then.
Okay, so between those three,
Soul of Cinder and Nameless King. Nameless King was like the lightning dude, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. So
also a really cool boss fight. Super, very.
So I'm definitely gonna agree with you by saying Deacons of the Deep was the easiest, which is funny because
I think that's everyone's. Honestly,
he's so far into the game, and that's why I feel like he's
like
so
halfway.
Well, he's pretty. I guess what I'm trying to say is for such an easy boss, he's pretty far into the game. Like they start you off really tough with Udex Gundyr, and then after you fight him,
Fort.
Yeah, exactly.
Dancer.
Those few bosses, and then like you get to the Deacons, and it's like, man.
And especially after the Greatwood. What was the
Curse Rotted Greatwood?
Okay.
Yeah, you have them.
Yeah, Curse Rotted Greatwood.
But yeah, so they were just, really lame and really easy in my book. And then hardest for me, base game, I am definitely gonna say Nameless King, and I have a really cool story about that.
I thought you were gonna say Nameless King, but I was like, no, because you beat him on your first try, right?
Nope, no. So here's the thing.
And also, I also want to say, contending with that, I thought you were gonna say Pond of Sullivan.
He would actually be like my second hardest one, just because
I know you had a really hard time with him.
His moveset, he's too quick, and I'm not good at parrying everything.
Got the dad reflexes.
Well, the thing with Pontiff is like I didn't train myself to parry him with like other enemies. So I can parry, and I parried a lot on PvP actually.
Yeah.
But with Pontiff, I didn't dare try because he just did so much damage.
Yeah, especially if you missed it.
But the story behind Nameless King and why he's my hardest boss, and I probably would change this list now actually to say Pond of Sullivan is harder than a Nameless King. But for me, the very first time I fought him, I remember it was like 10 o'clock on a like Thursday night or something like that.
Yeah.
And I died to him, and I counted 19 times in a row.
Oh my god.
19 times.
Nameless?
To Nameless King.
Wow.
I was running low on embers. Like I say low, but I had like 30 left. But
that's low if you don't have, if you're used to 100 or something.
And if you're dying over and over again. So 19 times in a row. So I finally like pretty much cried myself to sleep.
Oh my gosh, that's so sad.
Because I was like, I can't beat him, and I just felt like such a failure. And then the next morning, I literally woke up, I turned on the Xbox, I didn't brush my teeth. I didn't go pee.
How dare you?
I know it was disgusting, but I was so determined. I turned on the Xbox and I beat him my first try that morning.
That's what it was.
So
that's what the first try was.
Made me feel so good inside. And the reason why I say now I'd probably rank him a little lower is because once you kind of figure out his timing and like the dynamics of the fight, he's really not too hard. I mean, he's like any other Dark Souls boss where like once you learn him, he's really easy.
Right, because you can anticipate the mechanics of the boss.
So for you, DLC.
We're still going over this.
Yeah, no, DLC, hardest and easiest for you.
Well, then we already kind of, means
I don't think hardest, we really, hardest and easiest. We talked about favorite and least favorite.
Hardest, ooh.
It's a tough
choice.
Hardest
probably going to be Sister Fried.
Yeah.
I was going to say Madeira, but it's like, can't say Madeira if Sister Fried's on the list.
Fair.
And I don't remember the Demon in Pain and Demon from Below.
That's the one where you go through a really hard area and then you like drop down this big old hole, and then there's two dragons. There's two dragons, and then
I do remember this a bit.
Once you kill one, like the other one like absorbs the other. Like it's actually kind of a cool boss fight. They're really kind of sick.
Oh, that is pretty cool.
Yeah. It's a hard boss fight too.
Yeah. I don't know the easiest.
Yeah.
Hold up. Let's see. Easiest. I guess that's it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Probably the Half-Light Church.
Yeah. Spear of the Church.
Half-Light Spear of the Church.
Now, did you do that?
That was pretty easy.
Did you do that online or offline?
I think both. Because honestly, I've probably, I probably favored online.
Yeah.
But
no,
I feel like I did a playthrough that did like all on. I feel like I did a playthrough with all offline bosses.
Okay. Yeah, and the reason I asked that is because Half-Light will be different if you're online or offline. Because if you're online, then you
There's
PvP.
Summon people.
Exactly.
Yeah. So okay, I definitely did do at least online.
Yeah. So I would agree with you in saying my easier boss was Half-Light, especially talking about like DLC offline, because I did fight him offline and then I did fight him online. So I definitely agree with Half-Light Spear of the Church, because like it really depends. If you get a really, really hard PvP, then you're just going to go in and you might get a really easy PvP.
You. Or you're either going to wreck you or you're just going to like sweep the floor with them.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like, it's one or the other.
Because somebody could just be better than you.
For me, the hardest boss, and I'm going to disagree with you on Sister Fried, I think she's the second hardest boss, but I think Dark Eater Madeira takes the cake.
Madeira's pretty hard.
Buddha and I did a 2-player playthrough, and it took us hours on end to beat him. I think we died 30 or 40 times.
Oh my god!
Because we just couldn't. It was just
press B, dude.
Well, we did. That's the thing. But like every time we pressed B, we didn't really know how to beat him, so we didn't really understand like stay by his behind.
Did you ever look up like his mechanics or anything?
We did after we died like 30 times, and then we died another 10 times to him.
Oh my god!
Because he was just that hard. Because he just had
any like underleveled or anything.
No, I was like 110 or something like that, and he was like 90. So it was just
Buddha was under.
Well, and the thing was, okay, so when I say we died 30 or 40 times, we tried it together at first, but when you fight bosses together,
it scales it up.
Yeah, so we decided after like dying 20 times in a row, we're like, okay, let's do it on our own. And even then, we died a bunch just because we weren't used to the mechanics and everything.
Sorry, I keep yawning.
That's all right. Sleepy Jesse.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just like took the cake for me for like most difficult boss, and I remember
he was really hard.
I remember beating him, and I beat him, and like I told Buddha, and like he was so mad at me for beating him. Then like it took him another 3 or 4 days to beat him because he just like he would try it like once or twice and just be like,
quit, and after
he's like
he
no,
failed,
because he was all mad because I did it.
I had a harder time with Sister Fried, just beating her.
Yeah, she's difficult.
On my own, I think.
Yeah.
Madeira probably had help with, but he has a lot of mechanics that just kind of are very wide sweeping and
that's the thing I don't like
everything
about him.
In their path. Whereas Fried
Oh
still has some of that, but like
and the whole
she's
like
smaller and like
the whole laser beam thing that he does. Which is super sick, by the way. Like aesthetically, Dark Eater Madeira is super cool, but the damage he deals out is
like
just
a darkness dragon.
It's crazy. But yeah, so Dark Souls 3, pretty cool game.
I have a good gaming episode, everybody. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't think we were gonna take this whole episode to talk about games.
I didn't think we were gonna take an hour and 5 minutes. You know,
and I felt like all we really talked about was games, and just Dark Souls and
Kingdoms of Amalur.
Yeah,
I'm tired. He's tired.
I'm Travis.
I'm Jesse. As always, rolling the outro now. I'm done talking, Trav.
It's finished.
It is. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We hope you guys like this stuff. We like recording it. It's pretty fun.
We're going to keep doing it.
It's a nice creative outlet to do over the summer. And we'll see you guys in the next episode.
See ya.
Later.